Hi, welcome back. Sharpening tips. Number 2, I want to talk about medium. Okay, you need to keep your tools sharp. How are you going to do that? What's the abrasive that you're going to use? Because that's what we're talking about, is rubbing with an abrasive. There's a lot of choices. I have my personal favorite, other people have theirs. But here are some of the choices. Sandpaper and glass. I showed you this before, flattening the back, but some people use this for sharpening their bevel. I think there's too much risk of rounding an edge because of the sandpaper, but that's just me. If you have a nice piece of glass, silicon carbide sandpaper is the only way to go, because you need to keep it wet to keep the particles from clogging the surface. The particles are called smurf. Here's a sharpening plate. Oh my goodness, thing weighs a ton. With a pressure sensitive adhesive on the back of this sandpaper. You can use that. What you need is a flat surface that you can rely on when you're using sandpaper. There are naturally occurring and man-made Arkansas stones. These are oil stones, wet stones they used to be called. And this is a hard Arkansas. I had a Washita, which is like a soft Arkansas. But then I bought this man-made carborundum stone, double-sided carborundum stone. Oil to keep things lubricated, kind of messy. Very slow, a very slow sharpening process. The stones don't wear out, except after a great period of time. So that's the advantage and disadvantage. Stones don't wear out, takes longer to sharpen. 10 years into my woodworking life, water stones came into them. And water stones are great. They are water-based, right? This stone has been out of the water, and so it's just sucking it up. They should always be in water, as long as they don't freeze. Some people say you don't have to put your extra fine stones in water, but that's what I do. They sharpen very quickly. They wear out more quickly. So you need to keep them flat. How do I do that? Sandpaper and glass. But I've had these bricks, for decades. And they work great. Now, I made a mistake when I bought mine. I bought an 800 and a 1200 and a 6000. So I kind of skipped the whole step. I still got great edges, but I wish I had bought, let's say, a 1000, a 2000, a 4000, and an 8000. Just to space out my grits. And I have the 6000 as my fine stone. Yeah, I wish I had a slightly finer stone. This is the answer to that problem. This is a naturally occurring water stone. Ooh, I say this is in the 10,000 grit range. There's a gift. There's no label on it. They're soft. You need to pay attention to that. Relatively inexpensive to get into. Water cleanup, they cut very quickly. That's what I like. Diamond stones are another possibility, either in a flat plate, one-sided, or a two-sided perforated plate. The perforations are for the swarf to kind of fill up. You can't flatten these. There's nothing harder than a diamond. So you have to trust them. The diamond stones are a little bit more expensive to get into. They don't last forever. I know that. They don't last forever. But they last a good long while. And the final stone option that you have, or abrasive that you have, are ceramic stones. And these are very, very lovely sharpening stones. More expensive. Very flat. Pretty quick in the cutting. I don't have a lot of experience with them, but I had an experience once at a school where I was teaching, and they had a series of like 8 Shapton stones all lined up. I thought, okay, this is my chance to try them out. And I forget what the coarsest one was. It may have been a 600 or maybe more, maybe 220. I had a 220 Japanese waterstone, and it bellied out so fast, they just disappear. But the Shapton was, I think, a 220. And then maybe a 600 and a 1,000 and a 2,000, a 4,000, a 6,000, 8,000. I mean, they were just all lined up. It was a school that sold woodworking supplies as well. But that's when I realized something very important. If I did all my work on the coarsest stone, paid very close attention to what I was doing, but did all my shaping on the coarsest stone, then after that, all I was doing was removing the scratch marks from the previous stone, left by the previous stone. So that 220 grit leaves scratch marks. You take it out with the 400 grit or the 800 grit. Take those scratch marks out with the 1,000 and move your way up. You spend most of your time on that coarse stone. So my method is to start with the extra coarse diamond stone, do my rough work there. Then I go to my 800 grit waterstone, and then my 6,000 grit waterstone. I get great results. Figure out your medium. And next, you need to figure out how you're holding your angle. That's to come. I'm Gary Rogalski for the Northwest Woodworking Studio and our online mastery program. So much to talk about with sharpening. And you should check it out. Check out our website, northwestwoodworking.com.